50, 45. There goes Davis.
Oh, my God.
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Welcome in, everyone, to a brand new edition of The Dream Wager presented by Viva Tequila Seltzer. A little more on them in just a little, but welcome in, everybody. Today is Thursday, May 29th, 2025, episode 529 of these motherfuckers. Kid, how we doing today?
I'm doing well, Dale. You know, it was a little rainy this morning, starting to clear up just a tad. As an NBA fan, little disappointed that one series is already out the door in 5 games, and then there's a small chance both conferences end in 5. I hope not, Dale. I hope not. But as a basketball fan, little upset.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. The NBA playoffs, we already got one team punched to the finals in both sports. NHL too. Panthers punched their ticket to the finals last night.
Don't touch the trophy. Don't touch the trophy.
Yeah, don't touch the trophy now. We got NBA predictions for Game 5 at the Garden tonight. We got Oilers Stars Game 5 back in Dallas as well. Short slate, only 4 games here in the MLB today. Thursday is usually a day off, traveling day for the MLB. I got some plays for Friday as well. Look towards the weekend, and we have finally reached it. Week 10, last week of the regular season for the UFL. We'll have plays in all of that. But we will start in OKC, kid, and yeah, they're going to win the NBA Finals. This team is just so fucking good. 124-94. I mean, 26-9 after the first quarter. It was over after 1. They had more turnovers than they did shots made. I guess my first question to you is, in a closeout game on the road, how do you come out with that such piss poor performance?
You got to blame the coaching staff for not putting the battery in the back. You know, first of all, they shouldn't need to put a battery in their back, but the fact that you came out so flat, 9 points. I understand Oklahoma City's the best defensive team in basketball. We understand that now. We understand that 68-win team. They're a very good team, though. There's no reason why we should underestimate this Oklahoma City team. But to give up, to show up and only put up 9 points in the first quarter, to me, that's embarrassing, though. And we all know how good, especially how well coached this Minnesota team really is. So the fact that in a closeout game, Game 5 on the road, and after you played a pretty well Game 2 in Oklahoma City, now you show up in Game 5, and it was just embarrassing. Anthony Edwards, after a poor performance in Game 4, didn't really show up for Game 5. It's nice to see Julius Randle bounce back. I think he had a great game, in my opinion. 8 for 14 from the field, 4 from 6 from the three-point line after going, I think, 0 for 7 in Game 4. So glad to see he bounced it back. It wasn't like a mental thing or a hurdle, but everybody else, though, Daniels, 2 for 13 from the field. Rudy Gobert, 1 shot attempt. Come on, Rudy. You're getting paid a lot of money.
100 mil.
In Game 5, you only play 19 minutes. You gotta be better. Michael Conley,
he's old.
Legend. He's a legend. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna fault him. In 21 minutes, he gave you an offer. I'm not shocked by it. At the end of the day, he's 38, 37 years old. And overall, it was just a bad performance. But this lands on Anthony Edwards' shoulders, from a terrible Game 4, and that rolled into a Game 5. And we saw the electricity. We saw them in Game 3. Was it when they blew them out? They took care of business, and they blew them out. And it started with Ant on the defensive side of the ball, and we haven't seen that same energy since Game 3.
Are the T-Wolves better with Julius Randle not being on the floor and them having Cat?
Hindsight 50-50, you can make that case.
What do you believe? Because I believe they are. Because without Julius,
Randle,
I believe they're better with Cat. Yes, he's a liability on defense. Trust me, I'm watching it right now in our series. But he's your second best scorer by far. He's better than Julius Randle offensively, and Julius Randle's had a nice postseason. Got to tip your cap to him.
Yeah.
But outside of Anthony Edwards, and you're getting 15 to 20 points, give or take, on any given night for Julius Randle, who are they going to? They have no one. They literally, like you mentioned, Mike Conley, past his prime, Jaden McDaniels, 2 for 13. Rudy Gobert, he's just a great defensive presence, and he's like a guy that goes and gets you rebounds. I mean, he only had 5, which is terrible. But who are they going to get? Nas Reed? DiVincenzo?
Alexander had a great game 3
Anyone
to 4,
but
and at the end of the day, you can expect that from your 7th, 8th man rotation.
They don't have anyone outside of Anthony Edwards. So that's why I don't think OKC never really thought of them as a threat. Because, yeah, they had one good game. Outside of that, they were never in this series.
They battled them tough in game 4. Maybe if Ant-Man and Julius Randle would have came along to the party, maybe this series would have been extended just one more game. But at the end of the day, I think we all know the outcome was going to be OKC, especially after game 1. It looked like it was going to be at 5. Yeah. It ended at 5.
I knew they were going to the finals when I think they lost 2 in a row to the Nuggets. And after their loss, going back home, you saw SGA smile like, we're good. Like,
they went down 2-1.
Yeah. I mean, I know we grew up with the OKC going to the finals with Ibaka, KD, James Harden, Westbrook. This team is, I would say, 5 times the team that team was. Like, this team,
say 5, but
it's extremely better.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 2, just because defensively, this is back-to-back seasons now where the OKC, especially this season, that young team, that young OKC was great, but they weren't a 68-win team. They weren't the number 1 rated defense in all of basketball. They weren't I think they were probably a top 5 offense, but at the end of this Oklahoma team is great. I think right now, they're going to finish, and they should, if they win the finals, I think they're going to have the 4th most wins in NBA history. With
72 wins, right?
More. No, it's going to be like 80.
Oh, you including the postseason.
Yeah, postseason. So they might have the 4th most wins in NBA history with postseason and regular season. Like, we got to – I know people won't put them there just because I think the average age of the team is 24 and a half years old. It's going to be the youngest team ever to potentially win an NBA title. And I think because they're so young, then people are not going to mention them. But this right here, what we're witnessing in front of our eyes still, this might go down as an all-time great team. We're just not talking about it just because they're so young. But when we look back a couple of years from now, you look at the defensive rating, you look at the offensive efficiency, you see that they had the MVP, they had the best record in the NBA, 68 wins. You could come back and be like, man, that OKC team might have been all-time.
80 wins. They've won 12 games in the postseason. They have 80 wins. They have a chance to win 84 games this season. And they're going to be good for the next 5 years.
Yeah, think about it. Trent Holmgren still on a rookie deal.
All the picks that they have 2 top 15 picks in this year's draft.
I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe they'll not, set on a Giannis to Giannis.
They don't need him. That's the thing.
But I wouldn't be surprised they trade a draft pick or 2 for like a pretty good role-playing type of guy, like a Norm Powell from the Clippers, who could come in and give you 15 a night off the bench, 20 a night if needed in the starting role. Wouldn't be surprised if they go after a key veteran guy like that. So just to put them on a run to possibly repeat, could become a dynasty still, because this team is that good, and realistic, they're that young.
Ratings in the finals are going to be terrible. I'm not watching. I promise you, 2 Midwest teams.
I'm gonna say this still.
I'm not watching.
I'm gonna be watching. I think it's gonna be more viewership than the Denver-Miami series.
You know why I disagree? Because they have the best player in the world in that series. They have a Jimmy Butler. Outside of SGA, the second most famous person in that series, Halliburton's father. Am I wrong?
I'm gonna say Reggie Miller.
He's not even playing.
He's commentating.
No, it's not on TNT. It's on ESPN, the finals. So he's not even there. And don't get me started with Reggie Miller. That broadcast is fucking disgusting with Van. I mute it. It's terrible.
I'm sorry.
It's terrible. With Van Gundy as well. Anyway, but There's no stars in this one. It's two small market teams. Credit to them. They're going to make the finals. OKC's probably going to win it. It's not going to be where, at least in Denver, you had the best player in the world. You had Jamal Murray. You had Jimmy Butler.
You can
A
make
great
the case
team.
Shy right now is
He's
the
not
best.
the best. He's
I
not
know. I'm just saying you can make the case.
You can, but he's not. You can. Shout out to Shea. He's having an amazing season. Like I said, I'm on record. I wouldn't have voted for him, but he's fantastic. I just said what I said to Nick during our interview last week. I appreciate how great he is. First Kentucky player ever to win the MVP. So shout out him. He's just boring to watch. He really is. And you could tell also the ESPN crew is terrible as well. Doris Burke and all of them. They're like, you could tell they listen to the media. Richard Jefferson, all of them. They're online. You could tell because Doris Burke, like the foul free throw merchant.
Yeah.
She's not wrong. And he gets to the line. Jalen Brunson does the same thing, and he has to get assaulted for him to get any calls. Now, it's not a salty Knick fan. I think that's facts. If you look at the Eastern Conference Final, I think it's extremely more physical than the Western Conference Final. Western Conference is being officiated like a regular season game, as opposed to the postseason for the Eastern fouls. It's like 90s ball.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't like media. I'm going on a tangent, but I don't know. I just think like two small market teams not good for the NBA. It's more notoriety for these teams like OKC and Indiana.
Yeah.
But how much do you think, you and I were talking about
worldwide wise?
Exactly. And you and I were talking before we started recording. You're like, it's good for the league if New York extends the series. It's also good if a big market team is in the finals.
No, absolutely. I agree with you on that. But one thing I can say is OKC has one of the most loyal fan bases in all the league. They're going to show up. They're going to be rowdy. Indiana has a very loyal fan base. Outside of that, though, you might be right. I must say you're going to be wrong. I must say it's going to be higher viewership than the Miami and Denver series. But I understand your concern. And you might be right, though. At the end of the day, I don't know too many Indiana fans. I know some OKC fans, but at the end of the day, we all know if it was the Lakers, if it was Golden State, Miami, the Knicks, or one of these big market teams in Texas, maybe. But small chance it's gonna be a low viewed NBA Finals.
All right, back in 2023 when the Heat versus the Nuggets,
it was like $8 million, right?
They averaged 11.6 million on ABC. That was a decrease from 2022 when obviously it was Boston Celtics and Golden State. Two great markets. You knew it was going to be high.
That was averaging probably double, 15, 16.
It was that was averaging 13.8, so almost 14 million. It was a decrease we saw in 2023. The highest it got was Game 5 when it ended, and it had 13.1 million in 2023 between the Heat and the Nuggets. I say it's 12. I say it's like 11 and a half, 12 million. And I think maybe the clinching game, whatever it is, 5, 6, 7.
14, 15.
Yeah, I think it goes up to like 13, 14. But I guarantee you, I don't guarantee anything. I don't fucking know.
It'll be the second lowest in the last 5 years.
Basically. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be high.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think two things could be true. OKC has tremendously loyal fans, and they're actually loud. You watch the games; they're pretty loud in OKC.
It would have been nice to see OKC versus the Knicks.
Yes, I agree. You got some storylines there as well. Hartenstein playing the Knicks, and let's talk about the Knicks because
you want to recap. We wanted to get straight to it.
I mean, there's nothing really to recap. It was just
real quick. I just want to say, not you, Dylan, not you, but for all the people out there that was saying Tyrese Halliburton is overrated, I think we got to stop it now. I know I said this after the last series. I know I said this probably after Game 1, but the man was flirting with a triple-double at halftime on a big game. And let's not forget, people, the New York Knicks are a very good team. I understand they're down 3-1 and everything, but the Knicks are very good, especially maybe not as good as this year than last year, but they're still a pretty solid defensive team. Still, Tyrese Halliburton is slowly becoming a superstar. I think, and we're seeing it becoming in front of our eyes. I understand he might not be your anybody's favorite player or anything like that, but we're at least witnessing a merge. Could you at least admit that he's emerging?
100%.
All right.
One thing I would disagree: the superstar, nowhere near. He's a star. Don't doubt that at all.
Yeah,
Superstar is crazy. Superstar is LeBron, KD, Giannis. He's nowhere near that. You go to obviously outside of Indiana. You go to a small town in Arkansas. You think they're gonna know who Tyrese Halliburton is?
Absolutely not.
But you go to LeBron and KD. They'll be like, oh yeah, that's LeBron James. That's superstar. They know Steph Curry. That is superstar. I disagree. I don't think he'll ever be a superstar. Star, yeah. I mean, what he did in game 5 is remarkable. And 0 turnovers.
Yeah.
That is extremely impressive. He got a little boost from his dad being there. I'll say that. I agree.
15 points, no turnovers. That's impressive, Phil. He has 11 of those games, by the way.
And I think he made a good point. I think he said it after game 3, game 4. He said, honestly, not playing and being around the best players in the world in the Olympics and not getting any burn humbled me. Like, it made him go in the lab, work a little harder, and say, you know what? Yeah, I'm a top 20, top 15 player in the league, but I got a lot of work to do to crack this top 10. And we're seeing it in the playoffs. I hate the guy, but you gotta respect him. He's actually he's been the best player in this series. He has been.
Yeah.
You can't.
Well, Pascal is live. Plus
he had one good game.
He had two 30 pieces. What a 40 piece.
Did he have 2 30 games?
He had a 40, 39, I think, and then he had 30 games last game.
He only had 2 30 games. He had last game he had 30, and then game 2 he had 39.
Yeah,
he didn't even have a 40 piece. I think Halliburton is impacting it more.
Yeah, Pascal. If let's just say Holly don't have a great game tonight, Pascal gives you another 28 ish. Hey, I'm live plus 1,300. They'll give me some hope. Damn.
I love you, but I hope you don't win that. Fuck them.
Wait, would you rather? All right, real quick before we move on. You said you hate Halliburton. How would you want him to win the MVP then?
How do I want him to win?
I'm telling you, I have Pascal plus 1,300 for the MVP, right?
Yeah. I hope they don't. I hope neither win. I hope Neesmith wins it. I hope fucking what's that fucking guy whose mid-range is like DeMar DeRozan's at this fucking point? TJ McConnell?
Yeah.
I hope he fucking wins it.
I should. You know what? I gotta look at his overplayer prop because that's been cashing.
He is. I swear to God, he's an automatic from the mid range.
He's a Nick Killer. People.
Oh, relax, Nick Killer. He averages like 7 points a game. You can't be a killer like that. Siakam.
You're right.
Siakam. I'll hear the argument. Come on, Nick Killer. He's good.
He's good, and he had a great series last year. That's why.
And you know what? He plays both sides. He's pesky on defense, and I like that they pick you up at fucking full court, and they jab you until you're worn out. Don't like how the officiating's been called. It's a little ticky-tack fouls where they shouldn't be fouls. It's the playoffs. Swallow the whistle a little bit. We need a little more contact. I don't mind the switch on the starting lineup because you can't hack a Mitch early on and then get into the bonus. So I don't mind that. And to be honest, defensively, we're better when Cat's not on the floor. Same thing with Jalen Brunson.
Yeah. McBride comes in and gives huge minutes.
But then they called 3 fouls in 90 seconds on him. That's insane to me. Like that, 1 foul, cool. 2, okay. 3, come on, swallow the on both sides. I'm not just saying the Knicks. There's some ticky-tack fouls on Indiana where it's like,
yeah, I feel like anything in the perimeter is blowing whistle heavy. Anything down low they be hacking down there. Even the play on OG, and I'm not advocate for the Knicks, but
they're smacking the shit out of them.
That was a foul. Like, but you see a little push off or a hand check at the 3-point line, they're calling it. I don't get it.
I think the Knicks need to invest in a guy. We need 2 to 3 OGs on the team because
Dale, you got to. You
no,
got
no,
Malik.
because Malik's been very bad this series defensively. He has been. He's going under screens. Halliburton is killing him on the pick and roll. He has not been good this series. Boston, yeah, he had a great series defensively. OG's the only one. OG, yeah. Mitch, McBride, even Delonte Wright. Shout out him. Mm-hmm. He's out here defending. But we need more guys, and
I don't think you can.
I just think, unfortunately,
they're not going to play. Josh Hart. Who's realistically, Dale? Whose minutes are you going to substitute?
Malik.
Josh Hart's?
Malik. They're already substituting Josh Hart.
I think it's going to be tough, Dale, because at the end of the day, you're heavily invested in right now for the current roster. You're heavily invested. For some reason, Jalen Brunson taking the least amount. So I think you could work with what you got. Maybe you can add a piece or two, but nothing that's going to be like, yeah. That's gonna be like a star piece. No, I think I could add like a Bruce Brown or somebody like that could be a difference maker coming off the bench. But
I want an Alex Caruso. Shout out Caruso making the finals.
Shit, maybe Caruso might get a little bag.
Or we need like a Luke Dort. Yeah, that's what we need. Mm-hmm. But I think this year, looking back, the Knicks are going to say, you know what, this was our best chance to make the NBA Finals and win it. I mean, just look at it. You had a 64-win Cavalier team lose, crumple. They couldn't get past their own shadow in the second round. Boston, they lose 2 straight at home. And then in the final 2-3 minutes, Jason Tatum is out for a year. Milwaukee, Dame tears his ACL. You got all this expectation with Paul George and Embiid. They flop on the year. The Heat, they had a down year. This was the year, and you couldn't get past the Pacers. The Knicks front office and fans are going to look back and say, 2024-25, that was the year we could have made a run. Maybe not win it because OKC is a hell of a team, but at least get to the finals. And I think we're going to look back and be like, we squandered game 1. You can't blow that game. Mm-hmm. Game 2 was winnable. You win game 3, and then game 4 was winnable until the fourth quarter, until it got out of hand. So I don't know. I think Knicks fans are going to look back and be like, this was the year. All those teams that I mentioned all had championship aspirations, and they fell short. And Knicks, a 64-win team, you couldn't get to or 51, excuse me. You couldn't get there. It's a disappointing season. I don't care how you look at it. I don't care making the Eastern Conference Final. I don't even care if they win tonight and they push it to 6-7 games. It's a disappointing season.
I wouldn't go that far, Dale. I understand. Looking back at it, maybe you could say those things, and most of those things are true, Dale. But at the end of the day, you can't. Indiana is a very good basketball team.
No, they are, and I never said that they weren't. I gave them credit. I said, hey, they have a lot of advantages in this series. I think they're a very pesky team. They're well coached by an NBA champion and Rick Carlisle, who doesn't get enough respect. I complimented them. But you have enough players to beat them. You have the talent. They didn't live up to the hype. Only one person I thought did.
A few players do. At the end of the day, the Pacers are a very good team. I think Rick Carlisle has been out coaching Thibodeau, especially. Mm-hmm.
Except one game they won. That's it.
Yeah. Especially, fourth quarter on since game 1. Game 3, shout out Tibbs. But other than that, I think Carlisle has been doing a tremendous job. Like I said, you can't fault the Indiana Pacers. Yes, looking back at it as a Knicks fan, it's going to be tough. But at the end of the day, you got lucky with Boston. I'm not going to say you got lucky.
No luck.
No luck. I'm not going to say you got lucky with Boston. But with Cleveland Cavaliers, you could make the case Pacers got a little lucky there with those injuries. And then Pacers are a very good team, Dale. So I'm not going to say yes.
But my argument real quick, my argument was all those teams I mentioned had championship or Eastern Conference aspirations. No one, including you and myself, were saying Indiana Eastern Conference Finals. No one.
We all gave them a shot. I understand we
Did
didn't
we?
pick them. I gave them a shot. I wasn't shocked that they beat the Bucks. Don't get me wrong. I was more surprised.
No, I wasn't shocked that they beat the Bucks. I was shocked how they beat the Cavs.
Yeah, but after the injuries, Darius Garland not playing games 1 and 2, Evan Mobley not playing game 3.
Yeah.
It wasn't that big a surprise. But heading into the series, I think majority of the world had Cleveland Cavaliers. But we can't deny how well this Pacers team is. They're undefeated so far on the road.
That's extremely impressive.
Like, you know how impressive that is to be undefeated on the road? And like you said, you went against the Bucks. Pretty good team. Giannis is a top 3 player, no ifs, no ands. Against the best team in the East, the Cleveland Cavaliers, yes, they dealt with some injuries, but Donovan Mitchell was giving you 40 a night in the second round.
But and again, just like Minnesota, that's all they had.
Because of the injuries.
Yeah.
Maybe if Cleveland was healthy, maybe they will be in the Eastern Conference Finals. Who knows? But we can't deny how good this Indiana Pacers team is right now.
And again, like another point with all those things falling in the Knicks' favor, this year they were finally healthy. Last year, the Knicks could hang their head. Oh, our guys weren't all there, and we still forced Game 7, and you kind of got lucky. Knicks fans were kind of holding on to that, saying, you know what, this year's going to be different. We're healthy. And look, it was even a worse outcome.
How making it deeper a worse outcome, Dill? Come on.
Because they're going to beat us in 5.
But you made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
It doesn't matter.
For the first time this century.
It doesn't matter. It's still the same result. You lost in your home in Cancun if you could afford it, like Draymond Green said. So it doesn't matter. As everybody's end goal in the start of the season is to what? Win an NBA championship. I think that's across the league. It doesn't matter if you lost in the first round, if you lost in the conference finals. You lost. You're a loser. The Knicks are losers, just like Minnesota.
So let's just say the Knicks happen to go home tonight.
But continue.
The season was a failure.
It was not a failure. It was
unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful is a better word I would use. I wouldn't say failure. I would say a missed opportunity.
I agree with you, missed opportunity. Because yes, you had the potential, you had the talent to go to the NBA Finals. I would agree with that. But at the end of the day, if you would have told me the New York Knicks was going to make the Eastern Conference Finals, let's just say November, October, I probably would have laughed. If you would have told me,
would you have laughed if Indiana's in there? Because I think
November, yes, but from
like
All-Star break on, we saw Indiana.
Yeah, they went up. Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, when I say October, November, this is the start of the season.
Yeah.
I would have laughed for both.
Yeah.
But we can't deny how good the Pacers have been since the All-Star break, Dill.
I agree.
And that's why I say it's a successful season for your Knicks, Dill, because even you, did you think y'all be in the Eastern Conference Finals right now?
No, I thought we'd be a 50-win team, maybe make the second round and then probably lose.
Yeah, I thought it would be kind of similar with what we did last year. And the fact that y'all got further on, to me, that's a successful season. Now, last question before we move on. Do you want Tibbs back as your head coach? Did he do enough this playoff run to keep his job? Because in my opinion, I think he at least deserves to keep it for one more year.
If you asked me this game 1 of the conference finals, I would have been like, nah, he winning that Boston series was huge for the fan base, for the organization, for the city. I would have said, nah, I think he secured 1 more year, at least, at the minimum. The way this series is playing out and him getting out-coached the way he is, I think you have to sit back and wonder if you're going to run this thing back with the same players, is Tom Thibodeau a guy that could go to the championship and win it? He's won one as an assistant, but not as a head coach. I think he secured 1 more year, but that's it. Like, I don't think you could go long-term and go to free agency and sit with players and be like, our guy's Tom Thibodeau. Respect. He's a legend, and I think he's eventually going to be a Hall of Famer as a coach. But he's a guy that gets you to where you need to be. He's not the guy to win it. And I say that in a respectful way, just like Doc. Like, look at him in the playoffs. Yeah, he's won, but look at the team he had. You know, Knicks don't have nowhere near the team that he had. But when you have just an average or above average team like Doc, yeah, it'll get you to the playoffs. So win you around, and that's it. The same like Thibodeau. So he's a good coach. I like Tibbs. I think he's misunderstood sometimes with his style of play, but I think one more year. I think 1 year.
Yeah, I think you can make the case if Tibbs is a underdog in this series, he's not gonna outcoach the other team to win the series.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
I think that's what we're seeing right now in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Well, we will be bounced after tonight, so it doesn't matter.
I got hope, man. Stop playing.
All right, let's go to the NHL. Panthers, man, they were down 2-0 after the first period. Come back on the road and they score 5 goals and wind up winning 5-3. Winning 5, the -1.5 in the series. We cashed there. -135 straight up in the series. We cashed there as well. So this team is a juggernaut, bro. I don't know what else to say, but they're so good. They're a cash cow for me as well. I mean, going on, beating the number 2 seed, the Lightning, in 5. Then you go out and beat the Toronto Maple Leafs in a very tough city or tough hockey town in Toronto. You go out in 7 games and you dominate game 7, 6-1. And then you go out and beat the bricks off of Carolina in the Eastern Conference Finals in 5 games. It's a hell of a season they're having right now. Edmonton, it looks like they'll play Edmonton. They do have a game 5 tonight back in Dallas, but Oilers are up 3-1. They've won 3 games in a row. Not looking good for my Dallas ticket, kid. Think the Panthers are going to win it all?
I think they deserve to be the favorites. Depending, even if it's Edmonton looking like it's going to be the Oilers, I think the Florida Panthers are possibly on their way to winning back-to-back Stanley Cups.
Yeah, I would agree. I wanted to see if they had right now Florida -115 to win the cup.
Great.
I wanted to see if they had any like hypothetical like
maybe on DK.
Yeah.
Maybe having those.
On the book that I was using, they didn't have that, but we'll see. Shout out to Panthers. They are a fucking juggernaut right now, and good for Florida. Tampa Bay has been good for a while. They won 2 cups. Panthers won last year. They're looking to repeat. That's so hard to do in any sport, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, hockey. To go back to back is
it's a good chance, small chance. Yeah. Florida wins 4 out of the last 5.
Is Florida a hockey state? Definitely not a football state.
Tampa won 2.
Yeah.
Florida won 1. Hey,
they're about to go back to back.
It might be. Who would have known? Who would have thought?
I mean, they're not a baseball town, not a baseball state.
Well, they are, but
no, Tampa Bay's not good.
No. State-wise, I'm not saying.
Yeah. No, let's just do professional teams.
Exactly.
Baseball, no. Basketball,
yeah.
Miami's gone to the finals.
Yeah, Miami. Magic
have they won it? Outside of LeBron and Ray Allen and Chris Bosh.
But Magic are a pretty good team. They're on their way.
Yeah, but they're not winning chips like these teams.
Florida Gators just won a chip.
Basketball, let's go.
That's what I'm saying.
I think they're known for a football state, right?
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. As a state-wise, definitely football, baseball, because it's all year round as well.
Yeah, football. I mean, Duval. They haven't won anything. They almost beat you out to go to the AFC Championship game, or was it the AFC Championship?
Yeah, it was the AFC.
Yeah, wow.
AFC Championship game.
That was a hell of a shout out Blake Bortles, man. I miss Blake. Yeah, he's a legend.
Hey, they were up 10, man. I was panicking. That was a great team.
Great team.
That was a very good team.
I missed that game. That was a great game. Tampa Bay just won 3 years ago?
Yeah, 2021, 2022, 2021. Yeah,
2021. Yeah, it was pandemic year. Yeah. So they just won, and then Miami Dolphins are not good, but they're competitive.
Mm-hmm.
So They're just fucking good in everything, right? Except baseball. Oh no, Tampa Bay Rays made the World Series a few years ago.
Sorry, Florida's all-wide sports
All
state.
encompassed state.
Mhm.
Fuck them. No real NFL news. I mean,
Well,
if you, yeah,
my boy Stephon Diggs was on a boat, and now he's being investigated by the New England Patriots.
I was
So,
gonna ask you about that, but I
so
didn't know if you wanted to talk
real
about
quick
it.
for anybody on the Patriots, but any professional athlete out there, I'm gonna give you one piece of advice.
What is that?
Put the phones away. I'm not saying, you know, you have to take it, snatch it for somebody or anything like that. All I'm saying is, if you want to party with me or be around me, nobody's able to have their phone out. That's all. We're gonna put it in this bag, and when wherever we're done, you can have your phone back. If there's an issue, you don't need to be here. Simple as that. At the end of the day, I hope nothing comes from it, but there's a small chance, the NFL. Highly doubt. Hopefully not the NFL comes down, but I wouldn't be surprised if the New England Patriots either fine or suspend Stephon Diggs for this.
That's your wide receiver one.
Big wide receiver one, yes.
Are you worried that he's out here cheating on Cardi B and all that?
Absolutely not. I'm just worried about that. They're gonna make things bigger than what they need to be.
He was seen the next day. I think that was a Monday. I think
it was
Tuesday.
Memorial Day. He was celebrating, having a good time. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I think it was not a matter of he was celebrating. It was a matter of who he was with.
No, it wasn't that. It was something.
No, I think that's all the headlines with 3 girls. No, it wasn't a matter that he was on a boat.
It was he opened up this thing and they took. I'm not gonna say he gave. The girls took what happened to look like a pink powder from that thing. Whatever you opened. Like I said, I don't know what it was. Still, you see, you making allegations over here. You gotta be.
I'm
careful.
Speculating. Yeah, I love to speculate.
We don't need to do that over here. This is not the time or place to speculate.
Why? Because it's your receiver?
Hey, at the end of the day, I ain't seen nothing.
I'll say on Stephon Diggs' behalf, he was seen the next day working out on the field, getting to it.
Looking good.
I don't know about looking good, but he was out there working.
He's looking good, though. You can't front.
Vrabel is not happy.
7 months, 8 months after surgery, and you're telling me he don't look good?
Vrabel is not happy. You know, Vrabel's a no-nonsense kind of guy.
No, I'm telling you right now, nobody's going to have a full near Stephon Diggs for the next 2 years. I'm telling you right now.
What happened?
Nobody's going to have a full near Stephon Diggs for the next 2 years.
Vrabel's probably going to cut that shit out.
Cut that shit off. And I'm like, yo, look, we're going to let you slide with this because you had the baddies, my boy. I see you. Next time, it's 2 games, no pay.
Yeah, and then he's gonna be like, "Oh, right, they fucking with my money."
Yeah,
so
no, you fucking with us.
Yeah. So don't fuck with us exactly. Thoughts on Kirk Cousins not going to voluntary OTAs? I told you a few weeks ago. Why would he? I don't think he goes to mandatory.
Realistically, I think Kirk Cousins sees the writing on the wall.
Yeah, duh.
They got the young, hot quarterback.
Allegedly.
They think it's going to be the new shiny toy that everybody wants to play with, and it's going to be the new starting quarterback of the future. Mm-hmm. If I'm Kirk Cousins, man, I'm going out there to beat the young rookie out. Well, potential second year starter out. I think Kirk Cousins, he was dealing with, some of the injury last year, wasn't 100%, and we saw him, week 10, week 11, week 12. He looked a little better, especially mobile-wise still. But realistically, if I had to make the choice, I have to see them both in camp, but I wouldn't be shocked if Kirk Cousins goes in there and beats out Michael Penix for the starting job. Wouldn't be shocked.
I guess I wouldn't either. And I think he lost a little step because of the injury. But my thing is, I don't think Raheem Morris cares. Even if he goes out in OTAs and lights it up and looks better, which he probably should. He's a 10, 15-year vet compared to Michael Penix being a second year player. I still think it's Michael Penix's job. I don't think they put Kirk Cousins in his midseason if he's not developing.
So why not cut him?
All that money. My thing is, I had a dream. Michael Penix was terrible. It was actually a few days ago after watching this Kirk Cousins story unfold. I had a dream that I was watching, like, I think it was like mid-season. It was probably around Thanksgiving. And I think the Falcons were playing the Jets. And we were just blitz
Rolling.
all night. And we just blitzed them. And we kept getting sacks. I think we had 8-9 sacks on the day. And I just remember waking up smiling like, oh, yeah, this kid's a bust. Like, we're going to get to him. And then I was like, you know what? I feel bad for Kirk Cousins. Like, fuck him. Like, you didn't believe in me. I guess the attitude I would have is like, fuck you guys. Like, you pay me all this money just to draft some young kid who I'm better than. I'm out of here. I wouldn't show up either. Because if I'm Kirk Cousins, I took that personally. I'm disrespected now.
Me personally, I would have showed up and won the job. I think Kirk Cousins, in my opinion, is today. I'm not saying 6 months from now, 2 years on. I think today, May 29th, 2025, I think he's the better quarterback.
I agree.
Today.
I agree. But what if he outplays him? It's hypothetical. Say we see all these camps and all these reports. Kirk Cousins looks fantastic in preseason and in mini camp. What if he still doesn't get the job? What if you have that? Because you're being a good guy. Me, I'm being petty the way I'm thinking about it. You're like, you know what? Let's just go out there, beat the young kid out, and I'll get the job. What if he doesn't get it?
I say you should have cut him to save some of the cap. Regardless, you would have took a cap hit for this.
Yeah, they're taking a hit regardless.
Yeah, but you could have traded him before the draft. I guarantee you there would have been a team out there.
Yeah,
Steelers. I think the Steelers would have given up at least a 4th or 5th for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Because we broke the news, I think maybe 2 months ago. Aaron Rodgers is retired. We've said this for months.
I said this.
Yeah. Yes, you said it. And I'm starting to, as the time's ticking along. We're under 100 days. I think we're 98 days away from opening kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
And Aaron Rodgers is still not signed. I don't think he plays.
If he's not signed by
mid-July.
July 10th. He's done.
He's done.
I don't see him not able to play this upcoming season, then get signed next year. He's not a coach. It's no way.
And I'm fine with that. He doesn't need to play. He has nothing to prove. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, he doesn't need money. He doesn't need anything.
But are we really going to sit here and watch Kirk Cousins go off to the sunset after losing a terrible game in an NFC Championship game against Brady, then following up losing the last game to make the playoffs against the Lions, and then hurt week 1 at MetLife?
Oh, you mean Aaron Rodgers? You said Kirk Cousins. I was confused for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. I mean this. And then last year, we saw the potential late in the season. But for the first few weeks, he struggled.
He was hurt still.
Yeah. Do you think Aaron Rodgers wants to set it off to the sunset like that?
Because I don't think the competitor in him wants that.
I think we can still see a maybe not an MVP type season, but I want to be like this in the right situation. Let's just say, hypothetically, he goes to let's say a pretty decent team like the Indianapolis Colts. I wouldn't be shocked if he's a top 12, top 10 quarterback in that system. How about if he goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers? You think you give him a shot to go 3,800 yards, 30 touchdowns, 5 interceptions? Maybe not 30. Let's say 26.
Yeah, let's say it's 26. I don't know. I think it needs to be the perfect situation, and I don't think
it has to be a good situation.
And I don't think either of those are.
You don't think the Steelers is a good situation right now with George Pickens? I mean,
he's not there anymore.
With DK Metcalf?
That's it. I was just going to say, outside of DK, who do you have? And we've seen DK. Granted, you had Jackson Smith and Jigba. You had Tyler Lockett. You had some weapons out there for Geno. So sometimes he could be invisible. But what if DK doesn't have one? He has a temper tantrum, and he goes off and he starts being a diva. Who do they really have? You don't have a run game anymore with Najee Harris. I outside of Mike Tomlin, who's a top 5 NFL coach, I don't like the situation. Yeah, DK's good. I like DK Metcalf, but you're not going to tell me there are games where you're like, damn, 2 catches for 24 yards. He goes MIA sometimes. And I think he's too good, too big of a receiver to go MIA. Especially now, we'll see. He's the only target.
Yeah.
Outside of Freiermuth, who do they have?
I gotta really look at the dead chart,
I'm
but
just saying.
different makers wise, those two definitely pop out. And
We will see.
We'll see if it's gonna be Najee. Najee's got TJ Warren. Is it gonna be the rookie that steps up? We'll see, but
we'll see. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers is retired, and we'll see where Kirk Cousins go. My hot take is they trade him before minicamp. They have to.
I think it's done. I think his curtains done. I think he's gonna be either the backup.
He's not gonna play. He's not going to these voluntary, and I know it's all voluntary. When minicamp comes, he's not going.
You don't think he's gonna show up throughout the preseason? None of that.
No. Why would you? Would you be surprised if he didn't? Because it seems like you would.
He's gonna sacrifice all that money.
He's made $100 million.
He made 200.
Shout out to Kirk Cousins.
Fully guaranteed. Yeah, fully guaranteed.
He don't need the money. He got kids. He got a wife. He's good. He don't need the money, cuz. What he needs is a championship. So, I don't know. We'll see, but I love football so much. I can't wait. We're under 100 days. College football, I think, is like...
2 days are about, what, 40 days away?
Our 2 days are about 40 days away. I can't fucking wait. We're going on vacation before then to reset because football season, we start from fucking...
Yeah, I go on vacation.
We start from July to January.
I go on vacation right before the season. Dylan goes on vacation right before 2 days. So
yeah, right before 2 days I go,
yeah,
and then we lock in.
Yeah,
you have to. It's football. This is we talk all sports, but let's be honest. This is a football pod. Why we started.
Like during the football season, our shows are like an hour and a half,
and we're just talking football.
And me and Dylan say before we go on, Dylan, let's go under an hour, but we can't help. Because we always debate something.
It's like telling a fucking kid, "Hey, we're going to a candy shop. We're only going to be 5 minutes." That's not possible. I can't go into a candy shop and be like, "Hey, pick out one thing." No, I got Jawbreakers, I got Reese's, I got Kit Kats. That's crazy. So, yeah, I fucking love football. I can't wait. Kid, that's all we got here on the news segment. Let's get into these picks. But before we do that, a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It is no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry watching the NBA finals. It doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. Tonight, Game 5, back at the Garden, Knicks, Pacers. Knicks laying 4.5. It opened up at 5.5. Totals, money's come in on Indiana, obviously. -173 on the money line, +152 for the Pacers. Total is at 223. Explain to me why Indiana's going to the finals tonight.
I think Indiana will be going to the finals, but I don't think it'll be tonight. I think the New York crowd is going to be rocking. It's definitely going to be a zoo at the Garden. It's do or die. I think, Big Body Brunson is going to show up. I think Karl-Anthony Towns is going to show up. I think Malik Bridges is going to show up. I think OG is going to show up. I think everybody collectively is going to show up for New York tonight. There's no way you're going to get sent home in 5. I understand. Like I said, Indiana's a good team, but to get sent home in 5, that's a gentleman's sweep. I don't see the Knicks going out in 5. Knicks are too good of a team to go out in 5. To lose at home, all 3 home games still, come on now. Give me the Knicks tonight. I know it's a little rich on the money line, so I came up with a parlay deal.
Okay.
The way y'all win this game, you need Brunson to get 25 plus. And you need Karl Anthony Towns to get you 8+ rebounds. I do like his over 11.5 because he's been averaging about 11, 12 a series in this series. But we're gonna play it safe, people. I'm gonna get a 3-way parlay plus 111. Money line Knicks, Brunson 25 plus, Karl Anthony Towns 8+ rebounds at plus 111.
Yeah, take the Pacers plus the points and on the money line. It's over. It's poetic. Everyone was like Knicks in 5, Knicks in 6. It's gonna be Pacers in 5 and Pacers in 6. I like Halliburton over 9.5 assists. You could get that at minus 130. He's averaging 11 assists this season, in the postseason. So if you're not convinced on his impact, I mean, he's become the fastest player since Magic Johnson to reach 500 plus points, 150 rebounds, and 250 plus assists in a playoff career. Is he overrated? I don't even think it's close. He's a star, and the number is still low. So I don't think he's a superstar, but he's definitely a star, and I don't think he's overrated. Give me Jalen Brunson over 30 points at minus 102.
Big body Brunson.
He's the only guy that's been sensational in this series for the New York Knicks.
Karl Anthony Towns saved.
He had one game. One game.
Y'all would have got swept without.
It doesn't matter. He's better. He's a liability.
Nobody's saying he's not better.
No, he's a liability. He's a liability. You're not going to tell me. He's put up 43, 36, 23 because he was in foul trouble. That's the game that fucked your parlay up. And then 31.
Don't remind me.
He's averaging 33.3 points this season. He also is living on the free throw line.
By the way, he also averages 30 points in his playoff career, by the way. Pretty great.
In a do or die game 5 at the Garden, you got to imagine if he stays out of foul trouble, New York is going to have to lean on him. So, and to be honest, you mentioned Karl Anthony Towns. I don't think this season, maybe it'll develop. I think it's worth noting Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns, they really haven't meshed well on the court together, especially on the defensive end. And I don't know. I think that could lead Tom Thibodeau to kind of be more aggressive and kind of reduce Karl Anthony Towns' role here. So, and I think that's just going to benefit for Brunson offensively. So, in a must-win spot, ball has to be in his hands. It has to. So, I think he's going to get a lot of volume, and he's cleared this line in 3 of the 4 games already. He's the best scorer on the court for the Knicks. So give me over 30 points for him at minus 102. And then at plus money, I know he's coming off the bench, but with Towns' knee injury now, I think we're going to see a little upside in Josh Hart, over 9.5 rebounds at plus 105. He's recorded double-digit rebounds in 3 of the 4 games this series, 13, 10, and 11. He's averaging 17.5 rebound chances per game. So regardless him coming off the bench, his playing time hasn't suffered. He's logged 34 and 36 minutes in games 3 and 4. So he's still in the game. I don't really think it's impacting him. We've already seen he throws his body onto the fucking court every time. So, like I said, I guess my handicap is in a level of desperation. I think he's just gonna give us maximum effort here to get double-digit rebounds again. We need it. He's our best rebounder on the team. So over 9.5 rebounds for Josh Hart at plus 105. Any props for you?
Just that parlay deal. I do, like I said, I do like Karl Anthony Towns over 11.5. He's been averaging about 12 in this series, and I to be honest, I expect him to get if he's not in foul trouble 36 plus minutes tonight.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the NHL. Another game 5 in the NHL between the Edmonton Oilers and the Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars back home minus 131 on the money line. Take them on the puck line, plus 187. If you want to take the Oilers, they are underdogs at plus 117. Total is at 6. What do we see? Does the Stars extend the series or Edmonton in 5? What do you think?
After dropping 3 straight games, going down 3-1, Dill, I think the Stars got to show up at home. Give me the Dallas Stars at home, minus 132. Money is going the other way, minus 130 as of right now. So not a great sign, people, but I think it's going to be a tough crowd. I think Dallas fans are going to show up. Give me Dallas to force a game 6.
Yeah, Edmonton, They are one game away from a Stanley Cup rematch with the Florida Panthers. In 16 of the previous 20 games where we've had at least 2 goals scored in the third period, 7 times there have been 3 goals or more. In 6 of the last 8 and 14 of the last 20 games, the team to win has also covered the puck line as well. So in 12 of the 20 games have also featured an empty net. So I think scoring in an empty net, I think that's a play as well. I love Ryan Nugent Hopkins. He's been on fire this postseason. Over 1.5 shots on goal. I like that. I think Edmonton winds up winning. I'll take them on the puck line -1, a reverse puck line because they're underdogs. -1.5. You can get that at +250. I like Edmonton team total over 3 goals at +105 as well. So I think it's going to be a rematch. I like Dallas. I thought they were great value in the beginning of the playoffs, but Edmonton's catching fire at the right time, kids. So yeah, I'm gonna take Edmonton here. Take them their team total over and -1.5. And there are also props on your sportsbook to for a team to record an empty net goal. So I think there will be an empty netter towards the third period. Let's go to the MLB, okay, because we have one game going on. It was a doubleheader between the Braves and the Phillies. Phillies, they're up 5-4 right now in the top of the ninth of game 1 of the two of the doubleheader. But what do we like here for the rest of the day?
They only got one play for today, short slate. Washington Nationals taking on the Seattle Mariners. Hancock is on the mound for the Mariners. Give me the home team. Give me the better team. Give me the Mariners -120 on the money line deal. I think it's gonna be a tough spot for Washington. That's the only play I got for tonight. For tomorrow, I know you say you're gonna have some plays for tomorrow. If you want to start. If you're gonna start with tomorrow, you can. But that's
Well,
the only
I'll
play I
say
got.
what I had for Thursday real quick, just to get that out of the way. For Thursday, I lean over with the A's and the Blue Jays. I like Barrios here at home, but Jacob Lopez, he's been susceptible. A's 4 of their last 5 games have gone over this total as well. They have the third worst bullpen, so I don't like that either. So lean over in that Blue Jays A's game. Rays Astros, this was a tough game to handicap. I don't really trust either pitcher. Maybe first 5 over. Ryan Gustos looked bad in the month of May, and so has Shane Baz as well. So I would take a first 5 over. That's kind of how I would play this game. And I probably would take the first 5 over in this Mariners-Nationals game. Nationals, it's another situation where I think both starters have struggled. Hancock has given up 7, 6, and 3 runs in his 3 starts at home. And Mackenzie Gore, he clearly is the better pitcher of the two, but he hasn't really been the best on the road either. He's given up 2+ runs in 5 of his 6 road starts. So Mariners, they're solid against left-handed pitching. I think both teams will be able to score some early runs here. So I'd take a first 5 over in that last game. What do you like for Friday?
For Friday, deal, I got just one play so far. Couldn't really dive too deep in it, but I think this is a great number. I understand it's Seth Lugo on the opposite side, so that worries me. Former Cy Young winner, but to get the Detroit Tigers on the road -116, like I said, a little worried that it's Seth Lugo. But give me the Detroit Tigers on the road with Miz on the mound. He's been great this season, with a 2.46 ERA, 6-1 on the season. Give me the Tigers on the money line -116.
Yeah, I got 4 games that I like so far. I'm going to take the Yankees here on the road against the Dodgers. Dodgers bullpen stinks. We always say every year they're dealing with injury and then they wind up making the World Series. But I don't know. Yankees are on fire right now. Aaron Judge is the best player in baseball. It's ridiculous. So I think, and I don't like Tony Gonsolin. I do not think he's good. Max Fried has been dominant so far. So great offense with Shohei, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Teoscar Hernandez. They got a bunch of studs offensively. I'm not worried about that. But their pitching they need to go out and get someone at the deadline. So I'm going to take the Yankees here. What's another game? I'm actually going to be on the other side. Give me the +104 with Seth Lugo. I am not a fan of Casey Mize. Yes, Detroit is the better team, but at home, Royals are very, very good, and they have the second best starting pitching ERA behind the New York Mets, and that's how they're doing it. They have a top 5 bullpen, good pitching. I'm going to take the Royals here at plus money. Should be a really good game, but yeah, I'm going to take the plus money. I'm going to be on the opposite side here. Let's go to the Angels and Guardians game. You got Luis Ortiz versus Jose Soriano for the Angels. I'm going to go over 8 at -105. Two bad pitchers, and Angels have been hitting the ball recently as well. And Cleveland, they do average a little more runs at home than they do on the road. So I'm going to go over 8 at -105. And then the last one is I'm going to take another over between the Astros and the Tampa Bay Rays. Over 7.5 at -102. I think the number is extremely low with two good offenses. And Rays, low key, underrated. They're above 500 finally, and they're actually scoring some runs here. Not a fan of Ryan Pepiot and Framber Valdez. Yes, you want to back him at home, but he has struggled in his last few starts as well. So over 7.5, I'll take that. I think we see some runs here in Houston. So those are the 4 games I got, kid. Anything else for Friday for you before we get to the UFL?
For today, Dale, let's take a swing at the WNBA.
Oh,
you got Dallas taking on Chicago. The
love
Sky are 0-4
They're
this
trash.
season. They're trash. No denying it. But Dallas might be as bad, Dale. Give me the Sky first win of the season. Give me the Sky -110 on the money line. I think they take care of business at home. They had a pretty good performance last game. Couldn't get the dub there. I think they walk out with a victory tonight at home. Give me the Sky -110 on the money line.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, okay, let's get to it. Week 10 of the UFL, and we start off with a banger tomorrow. St. Louis and Detroit should be the best game of the weekend here, and we will start in the nation's capital, D.C. St. Louis, though, road favorites, -1.5, -135 on the money line, +115 for the Defenders. Total is at 43.5. I'll let you lead this one off because I'm interested to see where you're going.
Give me the St. Louis Battlehawks on the money line, Dale. This is going to be a great matchup. Glad it's going to be a standalone Friday night game. DC is a pretty good team, Dale, but I think St. Louis are on their way to the championship, Dale. I got to see. I'm going to take St. Louis to win. Hopefully, we'll see how things work out. Possibly win the division, but I'm going to take them to take care of business against the DC Defenders.
Yeah, both teams are going to be in the playoffs, and this is for first place.
Mm-hmm.
DC, they wind up winning this game. They will be 7-3 and have the tiebreaker between St. Louis as well. I like DC here, kid. I think I think DC actually should be the favorite. I think DC being out, I like the over actually more. 43.5 is too small for both teams average 24 points per game. Yes, St. Louis has one of the best defenses in the league. They're only allowing 17 points per game, but DC is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams are profitable towards the over. 42.5. I know it opened at 42. It's up to 43. So money is coming in on the over. And I agree with the line movement. I actually would take the over. I still don't think it's high enough. So yeah, I would take the over, and I'm going to lean here with the home puppy. I'll take DC here. I hope they win it.
Love it, though. I love it.
Let's go to Saturday. We'll start the first game. Oh, only one game on Saturday, surprisingly. Michigan Panthers, they are hosting the Houston Roughnecks. Michigan is laying 6.5, +6.5 for the Houston Roughnecks, +260 for the Roughnecks on the road. Total is at 44. Houston is eliminated. Michigan needs this game. They're tied with Birmingham Stallions, 6-3 for first place. What are we feeling here?
Yeah, I know the Roughnecks got lucky last week.
Is it luck?
They beat a good team in
They
DC.
did.
They do. That's why I'm a little worried. DC might bounce back. Who knows? But I'm going to say they got lucky last week. Give me the Michigan -6.5 on the road. I think they take care of business on Saturday. Hey, shout out the Roughnecks for a huge upset last week. Give them credit. But on the road, I think this is a tough spot. And like you said, Michigan could seal up the division. Give me Michigan Panthers -6.5 at home.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm going to lay the 6.5 here with Michigan as well. Houston has nothing to play for. I just trust the offense for Michigan. I think I'm going to die on this hill, but as a roster, I think they have the most complete team. They're averaging 26 points per game. I'm going to stay away from the total. I think the total's spot on, but I don't know. I don't trust. Houston doesn't have the best defense. We saw, late in the fourth quarter last week, they were up 24-9. Winded up letting 3 touchdowns late in the game to have them come back. I'm going to take Panthers here. I just don't trust the defense here. They have nothing to play for, and the Panthers do. They're playing for first place. So, I'll lay the 6 here as well with Michigan. Let's go to Sunday. We'll start at noon o'clock here on the East Coast. San Antonio Brahmas hosting the Arlington Renegades. Both of these teams are eliminated, but Arlington is the favorite here. They are laying 6 on the road, +6 for San Antonio, +211 on the money line. Total is at 42. Tough one to handicap because both are out of the playoffs, and who the hell are the Renegades to be laying 6.5 on the road? If anything, I don't know, man. I would probably take the 6.5 points. I think it's an under game just because I don't trust San Antonio's offense, but it's like a double-edged sword. I don't trust their offense to get over the total, but do we trust the offense to keep them close and cover the 6? I hate this game. I'm probably not going to bet it, but I'm definitely not laying the 6 either, kid. I guess, how are you playing this game?
To me, this is a total stay away. Both teams not playing for nothing. If Renegades maybe had a shot to make the playoffs, I'll probably lay the 6.5 here. But you know what? No team got nothing to win for, nothing to lose for. I'm going to just stay away, people.
All right, let's go to the last game on Sunday, 3 o'clock here on the East Coast. Memphis Showboats hosting the Birmingham Stallions. Stallions laying 6.5 here on the road, +267 for Memphis. Total is at 39. It's the lowest total on the board. I kind of agree with the total. I'm going to stay away from the total, but I would lay the 6.5 here with the Stallions. I just don't trust the offense of Memphis to keep up. Maybe team total over for Birmingham. They are averaging 22 points per game. Their defense has been good this year. They're only giving up 17.5 points per game. It's not the defense, it's the offense. We're used to this team dropping 28, 30 points a game. This year, the offense has taken a step back. It's evident and it's noticeable. Maybe take their team total. Showboats are giving up 23 points per game. Maybe take their team total over, or lay the 6. Showboats can't score, can't take the game over. But that's kind of how I would play it. I'd either lay the 6.5 or take the Stallions team total over.
Yeah, I'm taking the Stallions -6.5. Still, I think this one you should lay it. Memphis all year has been second worst team by far. And it's not even close to being the second worst team because at least the Roughnecks pulled off some upsets. There's been games where Memphis wasn't even close. So I expect the Stallions to, at least win this game by double digits. This is a game the Stallions should take care of business. So for once, maybe the second time all year, I'm laying it with the Stallions and hopefully it pays off. Give me the -6.5 with the Stallions. And I think the Memphis Showboats might be curtains for them.
Because historically, as good as the Stallions have not been good covering the line, especially big numbers like this. They just win. But that's it, kid. Good luck on all your plays this weekend. Any last words before we get up out of here? Any big plans for you this weekend?
No big plans. Let's just hope not too much rain because I think it's gonna rain till Sunday, and hopefully June is a great month ahead of us still.
Yes. Well, good luck. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Enjoy the games. Good luck on all your bets, and we will see you guys on Monday.